if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. That hit me hard. Like, I'm like, wow, like, I've never heard it put that way before. You know, we know this, we understand this, most of us. But when I read that, it was so powerful. I'm like, you know what? I wrote it down and I'm like, you know what? Let me just talk about this briefly tonight. There's always a price to pay. There's always a price to pay. There's always a sacrifice that needs to be made. Anything that's worthwhile, you know, I've spoken about this over and over again. Anything that's worthwhile, anything that's worth having, worth going after, that the vast majority of the populace of the world wants, it requires a sacrifice and it has a high price tag, usually. And most of us, we don't want to pay the price. We don't want to give what is required to get what we want. So because we're unwilling to sacrifice whatever it is, go through the discomfort, the pain, whatever it is, if we're unwilling to sacrifice those things, then the thing that we want, our goals, our dreams, we will then have to sacrifice those things if we don't sacrifice what's required. If you don't sacrifice for what you want will become the sacrifice, because something got to go. Something has to be laid down. A price has to be paid. What is that price going to be? If I'm not willing to do the work, I have to give up my dream. If I'm not willing to pay the price, I have to give up my dream, the goal, the thing that you want. Because something has to go. A price has to be paid. A sacrifice has to be made. What is it going to be? We have a choice. And it's just the way life is. For instance, fitness, you know, health and stuff like that. Like, it's almost like you want it, but you're like, man, I don't know. I don't want to sacrifice my eating habits. I like these things. I'm not going to sacrifice these donuts. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not going to sacrifice these pizzas. I'm sorry. No, there's no way. I'm not going to sacrifice that. Nah. I like these cupcakes. Whatever it is. You like it so bad, you're like, you're not going to sacrifice it. You're like, you know what? I'm sorry. And the end result is, since we don't sacrifice that, the body that we can have, we won't have it because we sacrifice that for the cupcakes. Dreams, goals, visions, the hard work that's required, the time investment, the discomfort, the pain. Are we willing to pay the price, really? You know, we know this. We know this, that by not doing the work, we won't get what we want. We know this. But for some reason, you know, we're like, you know what, we're continuing down the wrong path. And we know it's the wrong path, but we're going down there anyways, still. And until someone articulates this thing exactly, like, look, stop where you are, please. Take a second. Hold up. Take a second. You know that by doing this, you're actually giving up on the thing that you really want. You understand that by doing this right now, your dream is at risk. By doing this thing, the thing that you really, really want, you're not going to get it because you're going down the wrong path. Can you stop for a second? Contemplate this. You know, just think about it and make a decision if you really want that thing that you're going after. And if you really do, can you turn back and actually go that way? Because that's the way that you need to go. You need to, like, go this way. You know, it's one of those things where, man, like, you know, I keep talking about the hard things. Anything that is desirable. Anything. Call to mind anything that's worthwhile. It requires a sacrifice. There's a price to pay, whether it's like, you know, going after this thing relentlessly, hard work, dedication, failure after failure, learning, discomfort, all these things, sleepless nights, like studying for long hours, whatever it is, all these things that most people want. I can't name one. I can't name one that's easy to acquire. I can't name one. Not one. If this is your dream, if this is your goal, if this is what you're going after, just understand from the get-go, understand that this thing is going to be hard. And you're going to feel like you want to give up sometimes, but you got to keep going. And that's the way it is for all of us. Anything that's worthwhile, that's desirable, and we're looking upon it and we're like, man, I want that thing. Wow. It's going to take hard work. And if we're not, and if our minds are not conditioned to understand this reality, and if we're not willing to do what's required, we're wasting our time. If you don't sacrifice for what you want will become the sacrifice.